Thank you. Our next contestant, Deborah Ho. The art of covering up. The art of covering up, Deborah Ho.
The elevator was packed like a can of sardines. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee filled the air. I sniffed to my right. My favorite scent is teriyaki. And I hurried to my left. The breath of the person squeezed in next to me. Ah, I sighed. The day could not have begun on a better note. But before I could say Jack Robinson, the elevator felt silent. The air still. And the pleasant smells of coffee and perfume dissipated. Nobody moved. Nobody breathed. Somebody had farted! Mr. Contest Chair, fellow Toastmasters, Mommy and Daddy, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to today's lesson on the art of covering up. Flatulence, also known as breaking or passing wind, is the presence of excessive gas in the digestive tract. It can be embarrassing, yet it is a natural biological phenomenon. So why do we try to hide it? My advice? Don't shun it. Embrace it. After all, you and I do not speak the same language. You and I do not look the same. But you, all of you, and I, we fart the same way. Which brings me back to the core lesson for today. The art of covering up. From my research, I found that there are two main parts to this art. The first I call the civilized art of covering up. It involves manners and prevention. What do I mean by this? Suppose you let out an involuntary fart in front of all of us. You should immediately ask to be excused, and then maybe smile. As for prevention, you should all avoid gas-producing foods such as onions and garlic, beans, as well as dairy products. But the second part, and the one I urge you to master, I call the uncivilized art of covering up. Don't get me wrong now. I always practice good manners. Yet, it is not always a practical solution. So what is the uncivilized art? Ignorance and ingenuity. One day, a family friend, let's call her Jane Doe, came to my house. She brought us durians. She sat on the floor, picked up the fruit, put it between her legs, and began cutting it open. I drooled as I watched the golden fruit unveiled from its thick green shell. And then suddenly, dude, Jane Doe farted right in front of my golden fruit. The horror, I tell you. I lost my appetite, but she began feasting away. That's what I call the uncivilized art of covering up. She didn't care what we thought. She acted as if nothing had happened and claimed the best pieces of durian for herself. As the saying goes, and it has never rung more true than this time, ignorance is bliss. What then if you are in a crowded elevator or a quiet exam hall such as this one? That's when ingenuity comes in. Bear in mind that the volume or the loudness of farts depends on 1, the volume or amount of gas, 2, the force with which it is expelled, and 3, the presence of anatomical features that could resonate. Now the latter is difficult to control because it is anatomical, and I don't recommend plastic surgery. But volume and force are controllable variables. The greater the volume And the greater the force, quite simply, the louder the sound. My research concluded that pulling apart your buttock cheeks is a popular cover-up for this. But using your hands is a dead giveaway. You don't want to be standing in front of people like this. So this is easiest done while seated, because you can use your chair to leverage as you lean more. Ladies, look sexy, you know? So you can distract everyone else from what you're actually doing. Gentlemen, choose a less attention-grabbing stance. Cross your legs. Move from side to side. As if to get comfortable in your seat, while letting out inconspicuous amounts of air. Do take note though. Make sure the chair you choose does not creak. Here's a little secret. The lesser the attention, the better the reception. Fellow Toastmasters, Mom and Daddy, ladies and gentlemen. The art of covering up, the essence of it, is daring to take risks. Life is a series of risk-taking events. I was once told, Debbie, if you want to win, you have to risk loss. Today, I tell all of you, if you want relief, you have to risk shame. Because the risk of stifling a fart can be more painful than the risk it takes to cover it up. Thus, I repeat, flatulence is here to stay. So don't shun it, embrace